Addiction isn't about strong and weak, or smart and stupid, or good or bad. Addiction's about brains and how they function. Anybody's brain can get hooked on drugs. Drugs don't care whether you're smart or stupid, or strong or weak. If you give a brain a drug, it can get hooked, and then the brain doesn't function right, and you have to feed the brain whatever drug you're hooked on. In the case of most of you, it's probably a pack of cigarettes.
Nancy's teaching style is very direct, but very compassionate at the same time. People really get that caring even through the DVD. It comes through how much she cares about smokers.
And even though quitting may seem like a challenge, it's a much better place to go. I'm going to show you how, and I'm going to show you through a series of steps so you can look at this side, make a decision, and say, I'm not staying here anymore. I've been duped, I've been tricked, I'm addicted, but you can get through it. And coming over here will start to look in your life as a positive, wonderful, coming over here. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to take you to the place where you will feel a motivation and a knowledge compelling you to come over here.
Well, Nancy's been at this a long time, and I think what's great about that, I've seen her go through all different aspects of education, getting details about how the chemistry and the different ways that people quit smoking, but almost more importantly to me is the interaction she's had with people that have been smoking or going through this process, and she's learned from them. I think she has her own experience as well as the experience of more than 10,000 people that have talked to her about how to quit, what works, what doesn't work, what helps them, what isn't helpful. And I think she has a very unique ability to put together information something that works for everyone.
The people who make tobacco products that are commercially sold at the store are highly motivated. This cigarette has been engineered, it's been designed and marketed to keep you hooked and keep you hooked for good. And you fell for it. They package this stuff in really pretty boxes. They give you ones that are nice and skinny and tell you if you smoke, you'll be thin. So if you're on this side, it's because probably the people who produce tobacco products are more motivated than you are. So I think it's important for you to look at this, and my job is to get you more motivated than the people who make cigarettes, okay? And it can save your life.
The program, you can tell that it's been evolving for 20 years. I mean, she's been doing this. So as far as her depth of knowledge, it's unbelievably thorough and deep. And it changes as she gets more information, you get more information.
I've never met anybody with as much knowledge as Nancy has about the subject. I think she's probably read everything published about smoking that there is. And it's not just what happens in the studies and on paper, it's how does that translate into real action and real change for people.
I'm going to teach you what I call kindergarten brain chemistry because I'm not smart enough to teach you the kind that the big muckety-mucks teach, okay? I'm going to take all these complicated brain chemistry statistics and numbers and all that, and I'm going to teach you an easy way to think about your brain, the chemicals, and how tobacco has affected that. I'm going to do that with stories and metaphor. I'm going to talk about...
Here I am trying to put together this smoking cessation program, and I'm smoking. So that's when I first met Nancy. When I went through the program, I learned things like the history of tobacco, which I knew nothing about. I learned about the marketing, and it worked. It worked for me. I believe with every fiber of my being that this program works, and I know it works. I'm proof that it works.
Not only does Nancy show you different items, the patch, gum, inhalers, different products that I had no idea even existed, but she also shows you how to use each product, which is very helpful in deciding which way you're going to go.
Nancy cares more than anybody I know. You know, she's so passionate about getting people to quit using tobacco. She's passionate about what she does. She's passionate about her work. And I've had conversations with Nancy where her eyes will well up with tears. She's so passionate about the people she works with.
Now, I can't tell you that everything is able to change. My lungs never grew new lung tissue, but my lungs today are healthier and stronger than back when I was smoking, because I don't have the smoke and I don't have the tar. So look at your own personal history. If you started when you were 8 years old, or 15 years old, or 30 years old, and you came over here, I don't care how long you've been standing on this side, and I don't care which of these products you've used, whether it's been dip, pipe, cigarettes. The minute you step over the yardstick, a miracle happens.
She developed this technique to really educate us more than saying we were bad, we shouldn't smoke, you should stop. Most of the people that are teaching these classes have never smoked, don't realize how tough it is.
She didn't shake her finger at us because we were smokers. She was there to help us, but not to chastise us, because she knew we were smart people.
Nancy's a fabulous teacher. There aren't a lot of teachers, and I know a lot of great teachers, but she's one of the best. There's a lot of guilt associated with the problem. And I think what Nancy understands personally as well as professionally is that that's a pretty naive way of looking at the problem.
The difference in the way Nancy teaches from the other programs that I had tried, or other classes that I've had before, is that she really brings to mind very visual examples. It certainly worked for me.
I like to cook. What if I buy a Teflon pan and I have somebody come over and visit, and they take a fork and they make some scratches, or they put their initials down in the bottom of my pan, and they make little marks in my Teflon. They scratch it. I come over, crack my egg, drop it in. When I take that spatula and I try to flip the egg up, egg is stuck in the scratches. That's what happens to the lining of our blood vessels. So this healthy blood vessel that should be smooth and slick and nothing sticks on the wall, so the blood circulates all the way to the toes, the brain, and the fingers, back to the heart again. That's how it should work. Well, what if we take and we scratch it and we make it inflamed? That's what the tobacco does. The tobacco tar that went in your lungs or in your mouth or in your stomach circulates through all these blood vessels, and it makes those blood vessels become unhealthy. They're sticky in a way that's very dangerous.
The program wasn't a scary program. It wasn't designed to frighten you. It was designed to educate. And that's what I needed to quit, to understand everything associated with tobacco, how bad it is, why I'm addicted, and how to get away from it.
The other thing that surprised me is how much I learned, and the tools. The information is so valuable, it's like gold.
You regulate your nicotine dose all day long. Maybe your routine wouldn't be to light up right then, but now you're caught in traffic, you know you're going to get in trouble when you get to work, you get stressed out, and you just think, man, I'm going to have a cigarette while I'm caught in traffic. That right there is you regulating your nicotine dose based on your need. I want you to give yourself permission to do that when you use nicotine medicine. You use enough to control cravings, enough to keep the tobacco out of your hand and your mouth, and not so much that you get nauseated or get a headache. How do you learn? You start practicing.
My previous quit attempts, I think I did hypnosis one time. I did the patch several times. And Nancy's program was the most comprehensive program that I discovered. And I kind of had gone in with the idea that on a scale of 1 to 10, whether I wanted to quit smoking, I was about a 2. And by the time I was done with the program, I was definitely a 10.
Look at every time you've ever thought about quitting or actually tried to quit and what was missing. Maybe it was the right medication, maybe it was that you didn't have the right motivation, but maybe what was missing was your own belief in yourself. I believe in you, you need to believe in you.
I've sent over the years many smokers to her, and with great success.
I think over time, once you start to see the results, you have a more healthy workforce, a more active workforce, you see reduced absenteeism, and in the end, you'll see that effect it makes to your bottom line, to your healthcare cost, to the costs associated with workers' comp claims too. I think it's a win for everyone, really.
The DVD is an 8-hour course. It comes in 4 sections. Each section, one leads to the next. It really is like a story. You find yourself excited and ready to go to the next disc. The course comes with a personal workbook so that you can go through the material in a written form as well. With the DVD, I feel like I'm handing someone years and years of information. She's taken this very complex information and put it into a format that's interesting, that we can all understand, gives them access to information at a level which even many health professionals don't have.
When tobacco users are looking for help, there's not a lot of resources out there. In fact, there's a lot of gimmicks out there. And the DVD set is an immersion in 8 hours at their own pace, at home, of a very intense educational experience so that they come out the other side with the knowledge that they need to beat the addiction.
There's no other program on the face of this earth like this program. It's fantastic. For smokers and chewers, it's the real deal. And don't miss this opportunity to get this DVD. It's fantastic. It could save your life.